Sigma art lenses are incredible lenses, but are they just as good as Sony G Master lenses? All right, let's get down to it. So the lenses that we'll be talking about today are the Sigma 14-24 art lens and the Sigma 24-70 art lens, and we're gonna stack that against Sony's 16-35 G Master lens and the 24-70 G Master lens. Yes, I know Sony just came out with the 12-24 G Master lens. That's a video for another time. But in this video, we're just gonna talk about these 4 zoom lenses. Yeah, just waiting for the comments already. But what I really want to do is break down each lens and help give you enough information to decide which lens to get. Team Sigma? Team Sony? I don't know. Now, the Sigma art lenses have been a popular choice for many filmmakers and photographers, not only because they are high quality lenses, but they're relatively affordable, especially when compared to Sony G Master lenses. I mean, they're pretty much half the cost. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the key specs of each lens and then, some B-roll. Let's start with the Sigma art lenses. Both the Sigma 14-24 and 24-70 are full frame wide angle lenses, but thanks to the E-mount system, you can also use them on Sony APS-C cameras. Both lenses are made out of vibranium metal, I think, so they can take a beating if you accidentally bump it into a wall. Also, don't bump it into a wall. Both have a quiet stepping motor system for fast and near quiet autofocusing. Both have an AFL button, which can be programmed for whatever function you want. Both have a rear filter holder if you want to attach a gel on the rear mount. Both lenses are weather resistant, both shoot at a constant f2.8 to help in low light situations, both have 11 rounded diaphragm blades for that nice bokeh, low dispersion elements to reduce chromatic aberration and color fringing, and finally, both have some special multi-nano coating to improve contrast, lens flare, and ghosting. Ooh. Some key differences about the Sigma art lenses. The Sigma 24-70 has a minimum focal distance of 7 inches, while the Sigma 14-24 has 11. The 24-70 has an 82mm filter thread, while the 14-24 has a bulge for a lens. So you can't really attach a filter in front of the 14-24 lens. You'll have to use the rear filter mount if you want to do that. And lastly, the 24-70 has a lock switch, while the 14-24 does not. Okay, so now let's talk about the Sony G Master lenses. Both the 16-35 and 24-70 are full frame lenses and can also be used in Sony APS-C cameras, obvi. Both lenses are made out of adamantium metal, pretty sure about that. So they're pretty tough and can take a beating. I've even dropped them a couple of times. Both lenses are pretty quiet. They have a direct drive focus motor for silent and quick autofocusing. Both have a focus hold button on the lens, but you can program that to whatever function you want. Both have an 82mm filter thread in front of the lens, but they don't have a rear filter holder like the Sigma art lenses. Both lenses are dust and moisture sealed, so I guess they're kind of weather resistant. Both shoot at a constant f2.8 for low light situations, and both have some special nano coating and low dispersion elements for better clarity, control for chromatic aberration, color fringing, ghosting, blah blah blah. Some key differences between each lens. The 24-70 has 9 rounded diaphragm blades, while the 16-35 has 11. The 24-70 has a minimum focal distance of 15 inches, while the 16-35 has a minimum of 11. And lastly, the 24-70 has a lock switch, while the 16-35 does not. All right, so now I want to talk about my personal user experience using these lenses, starting with the Sony G Master lenses. Both the 16-35 and 24-70 are heavy lenses. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're heavy. When I transitioned from the Sony a6500 to the full frame Sony camera lines like the a7R4 and the a7 III, I started using G Master lenses, and I did notice myself get tired real fast just because that whole combo was super heavy. Got some great photos and videos, of course, but I got tired real fast. The 24-70 G Master lens is probably my favorite out of the two, mainly because it just covers all the classic focal lengths and I can use that lens on pretty much any project. So if I had a project to work on and I had to choose just one lens, I would totally go with the 24-70 G Master lens. The 16-35, however, would definitely be my second choice. It's definitely the lighter lens out of the two and really good for vlogging and gimbal work. The zoom ring on the 16-35 is much smoother than the 24-70 for some reason. The 24-70 has more friction when you zoom in and out. I'm not sure why, probably because of the adamantium metal, I don't know. But the zoom is definitely much smoother on the 16-35. There's a bit of distortion on the 16mm end and a little more prominent on the Sigma 14-24mm, better, but that's expected due to the nature of wide-angle lenses. Overall, the 16-35 is a great lens and complements the 24-70 really well. So like I said before, both lenses are great, they're reliable, they're fast when it comes to autofocusing, the image quality in photos and videos are great, they're built like tanks and can definitely take a beating, and you can take them on pretty much any environment. Like, I've taken it to the hot sand dunes where the sun was just beating down on us, all the way up to the freezing temperatures of the Arctic, and both lenses never fail, they just work. So they're just incredibly reliable lenses, and I've really enjoyed using them for the past couple of years. Alright, so now let's talk about the Sigma Art lenses. I've had both the Sigma Art lenses for about a month now, probably a little bit more than that. In fact, I probably should return it today. So I've had a good amount of time using these lenses. In fact, most of the videos that were shot this month were filmed with the Sigma Art lenses, so plot twist. I don't know what to say. I really enjoyed shooting with Sigma Art lenses, like a lot. The Sigma Art lenses just feel really good in the hands. I know that's like a really weird thing to say, but it just felt easy to operate. Like the zoom and focus rings were really smooth and helped me control how much to zoom and how much to focus, accurately as well. The autofocus performance for both lenses were pretty close to the Sony G Master lenses. I mean, if I had to pick one winner, I'd probably give it to Sony. They were maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little more accurate, but it was really close. As far as the autofocus motor noise, all lenses were pretty much near silent. Like, I did a test with the 14 and 24 not too long ago. I had like my microphone directly pointed at the motor and I didn't hear a thing. All the lenses were pretty much silent, and so if you had any concerns about that at all, then you don't really need to worry about it. I will say that the Sigma Art lenses did a better job in sharpness, especially when it came to the center of photos. It was also sharp in the corners, but I think the Sony G Master lenses win for overall sharpness. But hey, that's just me. The color rendering from the Sigma Art lenses were fantastic, maybe even a little more accurate than the Sony G Master lenses. At least that's my opinion, I'm sure that's up for debate. Regardless, color rendering from the Sigma Art lenses are great. When it came to chromatic aberration, however, Sigma wins by far. Like, there is virtually none. I even did the shot of some leaves in the sky for both lenses. I zoomed in all the way, and that's a really good way to see if there's any chromatic aberration, any color fringing around the edges of the leaves, and I didn't see anything at all. Sony does a pretty good job too, but Sigma is definitely the winner. And overall, all the lenses are just great. They're really similar in many different areas, except for price. The Sigma 14-24 will run you about $1,400 US, and the Sigma 24-70 will run you just over $1,000, where both Sony G Master lenses will cost you $2,200 each. Yikes. So if price is your main concern and your biggest deciding factor, then you should probably go with the Sigma Art lenses. So why does the Sony G Master lenses cost so much? Like, is it really worth the $2,000 price tag? Well, I don't know for sure, but like with all lenses, Sony and Sigma have their pros and cons, and each have a specific set of features that would take into account the cost of the lens. Also, the name of the brand probably determines the price. But in my personal user experience with all the lenses, they were very similar. So when it comes to deciding getting a Sigma Art lens or a Sony G Master lens, you're gonna have to look at specific features that you want and are important to you, and of course, the price. If sharpness in the center and corners of an image and fast autofocusing are important to you, then you might wanna go with Sony G Master lenses. And if better control over chromatic aberration, color fringing, and having a rear filter mount are important to you, then definitely go with Sigma Art lenses. Ultimately, I think price is gonna be a big factor for many people when deciding which lens to get, in which case the Sigma Art lenses will give you the best bang for your buck. So if you are just getting into the Sony ecosystem and you have a full frame Sony camera, I would definitely consider getting a Sigma Art lens, specifically the 24-70, because that lens is just over $1,000. In fact, you could probably get the Sigma 14-24mm and the 24-70, and that would cost about the same as one Sony G Master lens. Maybe a little bit more, but still. Wow. But if you did get the Sigma 24-70 Art lens, the money you could have spent on a Sony G Master lens, you can spend it on accessories like lights, a microphone, a backpack. All that stuff plays a big role when it comes to filmmaking and photography, and so, oh man, gear's expensive. As for me, would I sell my Sony G Master lenses to get Sigma Art lenses? Probably not, mainly because I already have the G Master lenses, and selling gear takes a lot of time and effort, and I'm pretty lazy. But if I were to start all over again, I would absolutely, hands down, without a doubt, go for the Sigma 24-70 and the 14-24. Also, if you go with Sigma, the 14-24 and the 24-70 seem like a better combo in terms of focal range. I mean, you get 14 and 24 and 24 to 70. There's no overlap. Where with the Sony lenses, you get 16 to 35 and then 24 to 70. So there's a little overlap of focal lengths. And no, this video was not sponsored by Sigma whatsoever. They did not pay me a single dime. They sent over the lenses for me to play with and they said, make whatever video you want. And I was like, cool, but no money? Nah, bro. Nah. So no, this was not sponsored at all. I do have to return the lenses today, speaking of which. But I just wanted to make a video sharing my user experience with both lenses because I know many of you are wondering which lens do I get. I get asked that all the time. But let me know what you think of Sigma Art lenses versus Sony G Master lenses. Do you think they're the same? Do you think one brand is better than the other? Whatever your thoughts, let me know in the comments below. Well, hey, thanks so much for watching. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell so that you get notified of upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!